Welcome back, everybody. So in my last video, the Fudd reviews a 1911 video, I hinted at a story time towards the end, and figured I'd take the opportunity now to go through and talk about that story time. But before I get into that, I'm going to ask you guys to do me a big favor. Please go down below the video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed, turn your notifications bell to on, all those good things. Even post a comment down below. I'd really appreciate it. It helps out with the algorithm. YouTube has been suppressing gun channels like this for a long time. That's actually one of the reasons I started this channel, believe it or not, was to add my voice to the fight. And it would really help a lot, not just me, but other gun channels, if you would help support me and promote me in the algorithm so that, pro-gun voices can be heard as well. So I'd really appreciate that. But back to the story. So I went into a gun shop. This was a few months ago now, and I went up to the gun counter just looking to see what they had. The whole 2020 gun buying pandemic has been kind of crazy, so I wanted to see what was on the shelves at my local gun shop. And I was actually really happy to see they had a Gen 5 Glock 34. Never really wanted a Gen 5 until I saw the Gen 5 Glock 34. That's a whole nother discussion. Has to do with the fact that it doesn't have a giant ass hole in the top of the slide. It doesn't need to be there. But anyway, I digress. So I saw that, asked the guy behind the counter if I could take it out, take a look at it. I'm messing around with it, talking back and forth with the guy. He's a older guy, of course, behind the counter, and talking about the gun, asking if they've been selling a lot of them with the whole 2020 craze. And he's like, yeah, they've been moving pretty good. Well, okay, cool. Had a good price on it. And I was telling him I wanted to get one because I like Glocks. I carry Glocks. And he just kind of gave me this look, and he's like, yeah, I don't trust them. They're all pieces of shit. I'm like, really? He's like, yeah, I carry a 1911 for a reason. The plastic guns are a piece of shit. I'd never trust my life to that. The thing will break on you, it'll jam on you, it won't work, and it'll get you killed. Now, I'm kind of taken aback at this point because I'm thinking, okay, but so many law enforcement agencies issue Glocks. A lot of military members use Glocks, especially those who are allowed to choose what they get to carry. Not just here, but around the world. So I'm really confused. And started to get actually pretty angry. But I couldn't peg why in that moment. So I just handed the gun back to him, told him have a nice day, and I walked away. But I was fuming the rest of the day until I figured out why I was so angry. And here's why I was so angry. This guy stands behind a gun counter, is supposed to be a firearms expert. He's supposed to be the one that people who don't know a lot about guns come to for advice and to answer questions, and to make a very significant purchase, not only monetarily, but in the fact that they're making this purchase to defend their life with. And this guy is going to sit behind the counter and tell some brand new person that doesn't know anything about guns, especially in 2020 with all the new gun owners that we've gotten. Thank you, by the way. If you're one of those people, welcome to the community. Thank you so much. Now, please start voting pro-Second Amendment if you haven't been already. But we welcome you. We're glad to have you. But this guy and a whole lot of others like him are going to tell people like that if they don't buy $1,000+ 1911, that if they'd rather buy a Glock or a SIG P320 or an M&P or some other plastic gun, which, by the way, I do carry every day, that they're going to get themselves killed. So their only choice is to buy this very expensive, very heavy, very low capacity, very big gun, or just don't even waste your money and your time. That's stupid. You, sir, if you're watching this, which you probably don't even know how to work the internet, but if you're watching this, or if somebody out there who thinks the same way that works at a gun shop is watching this, you're an embarrassment to the Second Amendment community. You're an embarrassment to gun owners. And all you're doing is driving people away. People who can't afford a $1.5, $2,000 handgun. They don't want a 45. They don't want an all-steel gun. They want a modern, lightweight firearm with a good round capacity, either to carry or to keep next to the bed or keep in the car, whatever, so they can protect themselves and their family. And all you're doing is pushing them away and telling them that they're idiots for wanting something besides your pet gun. So you need to rethink your life. So yeah, now that I'm off that soapbox, that was the story, kind of the impetus behind the first episode of Fudd gun reviews. Trust me, there will be more of those coming, but I don't want to do them constantly, if for no other reason that I don't want people to think that I'm actually an idiot and think those kinds of things. But anyway, there's a story time, kind of a quick video, but I wanted to get that out there. I wanted to put that information out there, especially, again, any new gun owners out there that may have encountered that at your local gun shop. You know, maybe you don't know anybody in your life that knows about guns that you can ask for advice on, or maybe you do and they gave you that advice. Or maybe you went to a gun counter and you got that kind of advice. Something just stupid and off-putting. Somebody telling you that, oh, well, if you're a guy, you should only carry a 1911. That's the only gun worth carrying. But if you're a woman, you need to carry this tiny little pink 380 that you're going to hate. Or this tiny little pink-handled J-frame revolver that you're also going to hate. And those are the only options based on, you know, your gender. Like, no, that's not the case. Mrs. Country's home defense gun, her car carry gun, is a Smith & Wesson M&P 9 compact. I said that in my last video, the 4-inch barrel version. And she loves it, and I love it. That's an awesome gun. I really like shooting. It's a lot of fun. It's very easy to control, very accurate, especially in the hands of a good shooter. Very reliable, and honestly, overall, it's just a really good gun. Her concealed carry gun, which she doesn't have her CCW yet, we're working on that, but we already got the gun so she can start training and practicing with it, is a SIG P365 XL. Smaller gun, but still not one of those tiny little, you know, pink 380 single stack things that everybody hates. You know, they're good guns. They're reliable, and I would trust my wife's life or my life to both of those guns. People who act like they know everything about guns, but then will give you advice like, you're a dude, carry a 1911. You're a chick, carry this tiny little gun. They have no business in the firearms industry. If you are a new gun owner and you've had these kinds of experiences, if you want a second opinion, if you like my advice or my thoughts on this issue, please send me an email, send me a DM on Instagram, comment down below, any of that. I will be more than happy to give you my thoughts, and I will also tell you some other very reputable people in the gun community that you can go watch their videos, maybe send them a message and ask their opinions as well. You should never take just one person's advice on a firearm purchase and on what you should carry. You know, you should make your decision for yourself, make it a very well-informed decision based off of a lot of advice, a lot of opinions, and your own thoughts. And also, if you've been a gun owner for years now and you've encountered people like this behind gun counters that just really chap your ass and frustrate the hell out of you because they're saying stupid stuff like this, post that story down in the comments below too. You know, every now and then people just like to get a little angry and vent a little bit on the internet, and I'd love to vent with you guys and be pissed off with you because obviously this is something I care about and I'm passionate about. I have several female family members that have become firearms owners in the last few years, to include my wife, first-time firearms owner, and I cringe at the thought that if these people didn't have people like me to come to for advice and they just went to a gun counter, the kind of experience they might have gotten that might have turned them off of the Second Amendment entirely and just said, you know what, guns aren't for me. And now that's fewer gun owners we have. That's fewer people who are prepared to protect themselves and their loved ones. And that's, you know what, that's not okay in my book. You don't push people away from the Second Amendment. You don't treat people with that kind of attitude. You don't give them patently false information like that. So I'm going to get off my soapbox now. I'm done. If you guys stuck around until now, I really, really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for all the support over the past, year and a half or so that I've been doing this. It means the world to me. We're up to 447 subscribers now, just in a couple of days, and since the last video anyway. And I really appreciate that. I mean, you guys are the bedrock of the channel. You're the reason I do this, and I couldn't thank you more for it. So, really appreciate it, guys. Y'all take it easy, roll tide, and I'll see you later.